I believe that God speaks to me through my intuition because that is where my soul lives. That is where my soul knows my highest and best, and my soul is connected to God. I know that there have been many times this year where I have ignored that voice, telling it, nah, it'll work out, it's fine. But here's what 2024 really solidified for me, you guys, is that our intuition is always speaking to us in every single moment of every single day. And when we allow ourselves to truly align with it, that's where the magic happens. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Power in the Pause podcast. I'm your host, Wendy Page Sterling. How are you doing today? As a reminder, please do not forget to hit that subscribe button so that you do not miss a single episode that comes out every single week. And it would be amazing if you would please leave me a 5-star rating and a review so that more people can find this podcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, my friends, wow, what a year 2024 has been. I have had probably one of the hardest years. It's definitely right up there. And I know that a lot of us feel that way. I know a lot of people who have been making the comment, oh my God, when is it 2025? Can this year please be over? And as I'm sitting here reflecting on this past year in my moment of pause, I wanted to just share some of my lessons, kind of, looking back, right? 2020 hindsight, so powerful, isn't it? And just to share with you guys just some of what's percolating in my head and what's kind of coming up around this year for me. And I will tell you guys totally candidly, honestly, like this year has been a year of a shit show. It has been a year of nothing before works. It has been a year of I've got to reinvent the wheel. Why do I have to do this? I am exhausted. Why is everything feeling so hard? And it's funny because those moments come up when I know that I'm very much in my doing energy versus when I'm in my being energy, which is the energy that I consider when I'm aligned with my intuition. And in those moments where my intuition has spoken to me, so my intuition being that whisper, that calm knowing, I know that I feel my intuition in my heart and in my gut. In those places is really when my intuition has been speaking to me, telling me that, this isn't the right way to do this, or it's time to make a shift, or, good job trying to do it this way, but should have listened to me kind of a thing, right? And so I'm wondering how many of you, like me, didn't always listen to our intuition this year. I really do feel like this year has been a year of my intuition almost testing me alongside the universe. And if you've ever heard me talk about my intuition before, I believe that God speaks to me through my intuition because that is where my soul lives. That is where my soul knows my highest and best, and my soul is connected to God. And so I know that there have been many times this year where I have ignored that voice, telling it, nah, it'll work out, it's fine. But here's what 2024 really solidified for me, you guys, is that our intuition is always speaking to us in every single moment of every single day. And when we allow ourselves to truly align with it, that's where the magic happens. And this is what I want to share with you guys today, because I think that my intuition has probably been my greatest teacher this year. So as some of you know, and those of you who are new to my podcast, I made a decision the end of last year to make a pivot in my business publicly. My clients already knew my gifts and my clairvoyance and my intuitive abilities. But here's the thing is that I was pushing to create something that I thought everyone would understand it to be because I wanted it to make sense logically. And on paper, it looked fantastic. But every time I went to really sit down and create something new, I found myself feeling like the work was heavy. I found myself getting distracted, squirrels who can relate, and slightly uninspired. And it really wasn't until in each of these moments across the whole year that I really paused and tuned what my intuition was shouting at me, which was, Wendy, it's not the right time to do this. And yes, I ignored it at first. I walked the talk, you guys. Like I still pushed forward with a couple things that I forced, yet I knew intuitively that I shouldn't, but I did. And so guess what happened? Minimal engagement, tons of frustration, burn out, like burnout, to the point where when my son left for college in August and my stepson moved out, I had this like somewhat of a little bit of a breakdown. And I decided in September that it was time for me to just stop and to just do some of this inner work until I felt in alignment, back in alignment, I should say, with my intuition. And so I want to ask you, like, can you relate to this? Like, has there been a time or multiple times, like, please be honest, right? Because I will say it's been multiple times, but don't you think that there have been multiple times this year where just stuff feels off, but yet you convince yourself like I did because, oh, I've already set the ball in motion, or, well, everyone else is doing this. Like, I need to be there. Like, I should be doing something, right? And I can tell you that for me, my misalignment in 2024 felt like constant resistance and resistance that I was trying to push through. So, for example, I actually had multiple amazing collaboration opportunities that looked really good on paper, right? I really liked the person, the topic felt in alignment, but something in me was like, I don't know about this. And I couldn't necessarily explain it at the time, but I committed anyway. And then it felt heavy. It felt like I was drained. And yet I pushed through. And guess what? I didn't get the results from it that I had anticipated. And it's not because either one of us did anything wrong. The energy of it was off. I was out of alignment with it. And so looking back, I should have listened to my intuition because it was protecting me from wasting time on something that wasn't meant for me. It wasn't going to grow my business. It wasn't going to, infuse me with the energy that fuels my passion. And I find that misalignment often shows up as procrastination or frustration or feeling stuck, right? It's those moments where your soul is whispering, hey, this isn't it. And so, one of the most powerful moments for me this year was really this break that I took September, October, went inward. I actually started working with some friends that I had met over the course of the year to really help me to dig deep and to do the work. I believe that every good coach has their own coach. I have multiple coaches. I am always doing work on myself. I pride myself on how good I am at investing in myself. Even when the funds may not necessarily be there, I trust that they will on the other side because I know that if I don't do the work, that the money is not going to flow to me. I'm not going to have the wealth that I desire. And so I really did this inner work. And I'm telling you guys, this year has been a fucking shit show for me. Okay. In every area of my life, every single area. And it has taken me having to step over the cracks in the foundation. And instead of continuing to step over them, I had to look at the light that was shining through them and confront a lot of really hard things. And I tried to just keep stepping over, focusing on other things, pretending that, the cracks would just eventually work themselves out. But what the cracks were showing me was that there was additional work to be done, that there was actually, that this year has actually been my year of learning how to help my clients navigate the shit show that sometimes is our personal life, our business, relationships, our feelings about and emotions and stories around money, around friendships. I have navigated it all. Like, no joke, navigated all of it this year. I have let people go. I have had to witness relationships completely break down to the point where I didn't know if they were going to continue. and see if rebuilding could happen. I have been on a journey. I have been struggling with losing 30 pounds of weight that has been adding on since COVID. And I have worked tirelessly this year. And when I say tirelessly, I mean like I have been in the doing all year. And it was really when in September, when I finally just released and let myself be, to go inward and to do the work. And I can't even begin to tell you how quickly everything shifted for me. Relationships, money, my body, my health, relationships with friends, family, you name it, personal growth. It all shifted. And so what I hope you guys are hearing is that realignment doesn't mean that you have failed at anything. What I'm trying to tell you is that when you listen to your higher self, when you listen to your intuition, when you sit in it, when you sit with your higher self, know that it is guiding you towards the ease, the flow, the freedom, the wealth that you desire. It happens in these pause moments. So if you're somebody who is like, how do I do this, Wendy? What do I do? Well, I'm going to share with you what I did, what I've been doing, and what is working. Okay. Number one is to literally create space for yourself to just fucking stop. I call it the sacred pause. Do it daily, multiple times a day if you can. No agenda, no to-do list. For me, it was sitting down with my journal and being with my thoughts, being with myself, asking myself rather simple questions. Because what that allowed me to do was to tune out the noise and to tune in to my inner voice, my intuition. Number two, your body is a massively strong communicator, but yet we listen to our mind. But when you start listening to your body, when you feel heavy or something feels tense, that is usually a sign that you're out of alignment. On the flip side, when things got me excited or it felt light, that was my intuition. And the third thing I've been doing is starting with baby steps, starting with little things, right? Simple questions like, is this an alignment for me? Before I committed to anything, right? Even as simple as like a collaboration call with someone. And over time, what ended up happening was I was rebuilding my trust in myself. And then it's helped me to make bigger, bolder decisions towards the end of this year. And so what I want to invite each of you to start doing is to take these 3 steps. I want to invite you to get real and reflect. Where have you been ignoring your intuition? Where have you been forcing something that has been completely out of alignment for you? And most importantly, what is one thing that you're willing to release so that 2025 gets to be your year of clarity and self-trust? Now, if this episode resonates with you and you want to do this work, I'd love for you, love for you to reach out. Slide into my DMs on Instagram, message me on Facebook, email me, wendy@wendypagesterling.com. And ask me, say, Wendy, oh my God, this episode, help me. Where do I start? And let's just jump on a call and let's see. Let's figure it out. And if I think I can help you, I'll tell you that too. Or if I have a resource for you, guess what? I will send it to you. 2025 gets to be the most incredible year. It has been enough. It has been one shit show year after another. And I am committed to helping you have the year that you are destined for, that your soul is craving and wants you to have. Here's the truth. Your intuition is your greatest ally, my friend. And when you trust it unapologetically, everything shifts. I have been mastering the art of being unapologetically Wendy. And I want the same for you. So Let's make 2025 the year for you that you stop doubting and you start aligning with your unapologetic self. I hope that you guys loved this episode. I appreciate you tuning into my stream of consciousness, or I should say my stream of wealth consciousness, in my pause moments that I have, because I want you to also witness the power in your pause. Thank you guys so much. As a reminder, hit subscribe, follow me on social media at Wendy Page Sterling. Send me a note. Let me know how you enjoyed this episode, what resonated. Maybe it's an answer to one of the questions I listed in the episode today. I am sending you so much love and light always. Mwah. Bye-bye.